3, 2, 1, and we're live.
Episode 18.
Episode 18, everyone. Cheers up, brother.
Ooh,
yes. Cheers, man.
Happy to see Ryan has the variety pack 2 in the fridge.
Yes, and we have a 16-pack of mangoes. We got them on deck here.
Yeah, the
and
watermelon's good.
What do we got in front of us, Frank?
We are currently watching the first round of the what I would call the return of American sports.
Yes.
Yeah, the UFC in Florida. They got the octagon set up and
Nobody in the stands.
nobody in the stands. So yeah, UFC 249, and we're watching the title fight of Ferguson versus, how do you say that other last name?
Gaethje.
Yeah.
Gaethje, I think.
Two killers throwing blows
he
right now in the first round.
is ranked number. I think Gaethje's ranked number 3
Mm-hmm.
or 4.
Yeah.
I don't know, but both excellent fighters. And then Tony Ferguson, of course, is a madman, and they're throwing haymakers right now.
Uh-huh.
And it's not going to be a play-by-play, people, but we are going to have it in the background.
Yeah, of our conversation as we. I mean, and it gives us away. We're recording Saturday night before.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah, we are.
You're
Yeah, we are.
UFC 249.
We've
fans,
given that away by now,
watching
though, right? I mean,
we're good, but we're actually now giving people the actual date that it was recorded.
Right,
Watching this.
you're right.
We're putting an actual, even though it's coming out on Wednesday, because
I mean, I post the episodes
You know
like
how it
6 a.m. on Wednesday, so.
Oh yeah, you got to though, because we have early morning listeners.
We do.
Yeah,
we do.
yeah.
We've got some commuters that listen.
Jacob's listening right away. I'll when it comes out in the morning.
Right. All right. So we'll let you know.
Thing for him.
We'll let you know when round 2 starts.
Yeah.
So if you
But
guys
the
do want to
previous
watch
fights
along,
were pretty interesting, and
Did
you
yeah.
see where the first title fight where it was called?
Before we get into it, can we just talk a little bit more about the return of American sports?
Oh yeah,
and how
it's pretty
significant this is right here. Because we
It's
haven't
pretty cool. I
seen
like
a
it.
sporting event in
Since
almost
March.
3 months.
2
2 months.
Yeah, almost 2 months.
And I had it on my laptop inside, and both my parents were like, "Wait a second, like, is that live? Like, what's going on?" You know, like, yeah, this is the first sporting event, you know, since all this crazy stuff has happened.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet. Pretty sweet.
All right, go ahead.
Yeah. So, do you think the fight that was called the first title fight between sorry, I'm immediately
Cejudo versus Cruz.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cruz, right? I don't know the other guy.
I think his last name was Cruz.
Cruz.
Yeah.
We do that too
His
much.
first name Dominic. I don't know. I feel
Dominic
like
Cruz,
was,
maybe.
was it
Yeah.
Dominic Cruz? Okay. Yeah. Well, I thought that was interesting because the knee that he took, the knee that Cruz took,
Yeah.
looked so. It just looked like it was a knockout kind of knee.
Uh-huh.
And he looked. I mean, he wasn't knocked
He was
out.
dazed
but he
for
was
sure.
definitely dazed, and
Yeah.
he took another punch. But it did.
What round was that?
Round 2.
Round 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
It did kind of look like he was getting up, though.
Uh-huh.
You know, it looked like he was starting to, make an effort, and like he was still kind of like there in terms of like he's still like, okay, I know I'm getting up. But yeah, it was called, and I think it's just because of how brutal that knee was. And watching it in replay, it
in
was
slow mo. It's gnarly.
Yeah,
because he gets him with a hook first, right, and then comes in, and then he kind of falls back to the cage, and then that's when he kind of starts going in on him.
Yeah, it was like a. Yeah, I think Cruz was dodging something, and then he kind of did a, kind of like a duck down sort of where he kind of came low, and he came into the perfect kneeing position, and he took a knee right to the temple basically, and then the fight before that,
Francis Ngannou versus
Francis getting that knockout.
Definitely not gonna remember the other dude's name because it's
Unfortunately, can't remember
really
his name.
hard to pronounce.
But yeah, Francis threw that knockout punch, and I was.
This was like 10 seconds in too.
Yeah, it was maybe 10 seconds.
Yeah,
and I was expecting a long fight.
Me
and
too.
Then he starts just throwing
haymakers.
Yeah.
Bro. 1, 2.
And then after that knockout happens, I'm immediately like, I run down the hall and I tell my parents, and my mom says, "Fake."
Fake? Like it is staged?
Yeah, like she's trying
Get
to say that,
out.
and I was just like,
get out of here.
I just saw a grown man get knocked out by another grown man, and then hit a couple more times in the face after he was knocked out.
Yeah.
And then I was like explaining like, and then it took him like 3 minutes to get up and like come back to being like there.
Yeah.
Not even fully, but I'm just like saying, and you have the disrespect, the audacity to say fake.
She didn't see it though. She didn't see it.
I know she didn't see. She's never seen a UFC fight, but it's just like I was like, wow.
It's so real.
I called her a flat earther.
Classic.
I said, "Why? You might as well be a flat earther."
Yeah.
Because you're out here just speaking lies.
It's so real, dude. When you see like those guys in slow motion, and they've got like their eyes are just like they're gone. You know.
Yeah.
I remember. I was watching Khabib versus McGregor. Mm-hmm. It was a couple years ago now, probably like 2018 or something like that. And one of the pre-fights, it was Derek Lewis versus some Russian dude, and it was like down to the wire. And Derek Lewis, who's he's like huge fighter, he's definitely losing. Like he's losing the fight. He's been losing, you know. Mm-hmm. And then it was like 10 seconds left, and Derek Lewis gets like a hit on him, and he stumbles back, and you're like, holy shit, like, is he going to do it? Because like there was literally like maybe 7 seconds left, and he just goes in, boom, 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 to the point where his head was like bouncing off and just like ricocheting back and forth from his like fist. And I was literally like, the entire time I was like cringing. And then I was with a bunch of my fraternity bros, and after the fact, I was like, they're not going to show that. Like, there's no way they're going to show that again.
They're not going to show the replay?
In slow motion.
They showed it.
Dude, they showed it, like, close up, right on him. And it was one of the most brutal things I've ever seen in such high definition.
Yeah.
It was, like, insane.
Yeah, it's a brutal sport, and honestly, it's interesting that it's the first sport to come back with the pandemic going on, because of the whole, you know, they're in their shirtless punching each other. So it's like,
you wouldn't think that the UFC would come back.
Yeah.
And we totally missed round 2. Sorry, we forgot to tell you all.
So round 2 is coming to a tail end here as they continue to.
Oh! Okay, Tony Ferguson with the uppercut.
Yeah.
Clipped his chin, and Gaethje, he's trying to walk it off, but he's hurt big time. He just slapped the ref. Did you see that?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that guy. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know why he slapped that guy away.
He didn't slap him, but he slapped his hand.
Slapped his hand away. Yeah, that was a big hit at the end there.
Yeah, nice.
I was about to say it's just coming to a like calm.
Yeah.
And then it's just boom. Nothing calm about it. But I kind of like this whole vibe about with the no fans. I mean, obviously it's kind of lame, but it's a whole different experience when you're watching it, because it almost feels like you're
it's a weird time
in like a backyard or something, or at like the lowest level of competition for mixed martial arts, basically, in a sense. You know, it kind of feels like you're like, oh, I'm hosting like, you know, a UFC event in my backyard, and because you're like hearing the coaches talking.
It's like Dana White's like special like backyard event,
and you're just you're hearing things that like normally you wouldn't hear. So it almost feels
like
as
them
if
breathing.
Well, I mean more than that, but like the coaches and the refs, you can hear what they're saying.
All right, round 3 is starting right now.
And when they're fighting, you can also hear the coaches saying, "Oh, you know, charge them, back up, you know, do this." Yeah, exactly. So,
definitely.
It's kind of a backyard sort of at home vibe, and I kind of dig that. And you don't realize
I do too.
How much of a difference a packed house of people makes in terms of noise. You know, everything changes. The only noise you hear is noise that's right to a mic. You know?
Exactly.
But with this, you get to hear everything around it.
Yeah. Well, I love how they're like. For those of you that don't watch it or didn't watch it, you'll notice if you watch the highlights that they're still producing it as if fans are there and as if like there's a bunch of people like in the stadium, because they got the lights going
and they have
like,
the walk-up music.
They'll come down. They have the walk-up music. Like they have, you know, the the mic's on super loud.
Mm-hmm.
So they're producing it in the same way as if, there are people there. I think it's an interesting take, it'd be like if I was going to, after the post match, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or post fight, I'm coming up to you and I have a microphone. I wouldn't expect my voice to be projected throughout the stadium, because everyone's within maybe, 100 feet of the octagon. But yeah, it's interesting. Oh man. Oh.
So Ryan, I know I was mentioning this before we started recording, but
The wings.
the wings, yeah. So the Ferguson has wing tattoos on his back, and I was thinking about it. I was like, people like to do that, put tattoo wings on their back, and it doesn't make you fly though. And I thought, Matt, would you go through the pain of having your entire back covered with wing tattoos if it meant you could fly?
Yes, I would.
100%.
Like, no doubt.
I feel like 90% of people, I mean, you have to have wing tattoos on your back, but
yeah,
I think like 90% of people would be like, yeah, I'll sit through the pain of
for sure
getting giant wings tatted on my back so I can fly for real. Speaking about wings, Ferguson just took a shot.
He just took a shot to the dome, dude.
Yeah, it's brutal when they get punched brutal when they get punched anywhere, but the slow motion, I feel like the slow motion hits
makes it so much worse.
Go harder when it's like cheekbone below.
Yeah.
Like shots to the jaw in slow motion are gnarly.
I think, I don't know if you keep up with the UFC, but Ferguson was supposed to fight Khabib earlier this month, or no, in April, I think.
I think I do.
And
I remember hearing about that.
It got postponed because Russia was on like shutdown or something, and international travel is basically like
put on
at
hold.
a minimum right now. So I think Tony Ferguson, he made weight, so he was like, I think they have to make like 155, and so he was at 155 a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Then he has to make 155 again in 2 weeks. I don't know how that affected him. I'm trying to think. Like because they slimmed down, man. They slimmed down, and it's not really good for your body, or your stamina.
Yeah, true.
So he has to make weight within 3 weeks or 4 weeks. That's got to take a toll. I wonder if the announcers are saying that. I hope they are. That would make me feel great.
Did you hear about Conor McGregor pretty much saying he's down to box Oscar De La Hoya?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
I hate it.
Which I'm very fascinated, and I really want to see. Because Conor McGregor's 31, I think. I'm pretty darn sure on that. And then Oscar De La Hoya is about 46, I think. And so that's right there a huge difference.
Yeah, but also Conor McGregor's not a boxer.
Yeah, but here's where I'm seeing. Okay, so if he can,
wasn't Mayweather like 50 or something?
No, Mayweather's I think 41 now.
Oh.
But if McGregor can last as long as he did with Mayweather in the ring, and prove everybody wrong.
Yeah.
I kind of like his. I think he has a better chance of being Oscar De La Hoya than he did Floyd Mayweather.
Well, especially now that he has
it under his belt. Yeah.
One experience.
And Oscar
of it,
De La Hoya hasn't fought in a long time.
Yeah.
Over a year for sure. Maybe even 2 years. But yeah, he hasn't fought in a long time. He's 46 years old. But either way, I think it has a good chance of happening because Dana White can't stand Oscar De La Hoya, so I feel like he'd want to see him get beat up or whatever. But yeah, and it'd be really cool to see a UFC athlete like kind of Dana White, head of UFC. He'd love to have like his biggest athlete beat a famous boxer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can see that fight happening, and I think the only thing that holds it back from happening is Oscar realizing that he's 46 years old.
Yeah, he probably doesn't want to either. I mean, was he talking shit or something?
It's his idea. He's the one.
Really?
He's the kind of the one I think who got it brewing. Yeah. So
I think he's running out of money.
Exactly. That might be it. Definitely a big payday for him.
You know what I was watching? The other day was, I think it's called Data is Fun or Data is Nice on YouTube, and it's like this graph that shows you the highest earners in sports every year or something like that.
Okay.
And you would just see, and it's like a time lapse kind of, and it kind of like slowly goes through the years, and like you'll see them move up slowly and go down slowly, and then you'll see these boxers, and then all of a sudden it's like, shoo, and it's like the bar just goes super far because they make insane amount of money, but it's per fight. You know, it's not like you have this income for a year. You know, hey, if I do 2 fights this year, what will you give me? No, it's like you get paid per fight, and so they get paid insane amount of money. Round 4 just started. We're at 425. Yeah.
I just realized.
What?
Very similar.
Oh
my God!
He just attempted like a roundhouse
Ferguson
kick.
just did a major spin, and now he's doing fancy like arm strip moves. I don't know what the hell that is.
He's got stamina, man.
But you know what, Ryan, you just made me realize you're talking about these fights, guys getting paid. Like, I gotta fight this guy so I can get paid this bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see that. I see a similarity there with working in the arts, trying to make money.
Oh
in the
yeah,
arts.
definitely.
And I speak to acting, and that you only get paid for
sure.
You know, like once you're done shooting the movie, like that job's over. So it's like I'm now unemployed again.
Yep.
That's pretty much what
it's exactly what it is, man. It's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Dude, did I tell you that like I'm actually gonna like do it, like go for it? Yeah, I bet you already realized that, right?
I thought you already. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But hey, man,
I guess it became
awesome.
more real like when I was hanging with Scott, and we were talking about living together. And
Scott's our buddy, everyone.
And my dad's walking by, and Scott mentions us living together, and then Scott says, "Oh yeah, Frank, is gonna go after the acting in L.A." is what Scott says.
And you haven't told your parents this?
Well, I mean, I wasn't sure if they kind of like knew or assuming or whatever. I don't know what they thought. Okay. But my dad was like, "Sounds good." He was like he sounded. So it's just like, I don't know. It's nice to know that they know that I'm going for that once I'm done with school at the end of this year.
Well, hell yeah, dude. I mean, that's what you want to do,
So,
right?
yeah. Of course. But I just realized that, acting is like UFC fighting.
I mean, it is, dude. It really is.
It's job to job,
I mean, John Krasinski was waiting tables.
Yeah, exactly.
That,
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm excited, and I'm mostly excited. I'm very excited to live with Scott. Hopefully that.
That's not confirmed, though.
I know, but
you're trying to. What is it called? Manifest your own destiny.
Oh, I'm gonna manifest. Oh, Ryan, I've manifested some things in my life. Okay, I'm like, there's been some things I haven't been able to manifest, but whenever I feel like I'm in control of a situation, like I have the majority of the control in the situation, I'm manifesting that shit. And right now, I do have the majority of control in the situation.
You're trying to
because
speak
originally
it into existence.
I was trying to get Scott to live in SF with me, but that was when I thought I was still going to be living in SF in 2021.
He should still apply there though.
And but once I told him about the whole LA, I was like, "Oh yeah, I'm done with college in December." And I told him, "Let's move to LA." He was like, "Perfect, because that's what I want to do anyway."
Oh, really?
Because that's what he want. Yeah, that's what he wanted to do anyway.
Oh, so, right on.
So it works out. So that's why I think my manifesting can come true, because I know he's just as on board, and that I know he's also really excited to support my struggling actor dreams. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So.
Well, I mean, honestly, like when you live in a big city, I mean, regardless of what you do, it's hard to live there.
Yeah, definitely.
Like,
yeah.
Rent is going to be super insanely high.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
They're stopping the fight right now. Why are they stopping the fight? Did he get poked in the eye or hitting the balls?
Yeah, they stopped the fight with a minute left in the 4th round out of 5 rounds.
Gaethje's complaining about something.
Okay, now they're back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so it
hasn't been too eventful.
It's at this point where, to me, it's sort of like these guys are tired, so this is the moments where the swing, one swing connects, and it's just,
I've never watched a fight without commentary, though, so who knows? Maybe this could be awesome. I don't know.
Yeah.
It doesn't... I mean, it seems like a pretty standard fight.
I know Joe. Oh my. Okay, so Ferguson just took a
rip to your ears.
Apologies. Yeah, sorry. Ferguson just took a major kick to the back of his leg that made him stumble like crazy.
20 seconds left. He was
going down
in the 4th round. They're throwing haymakers though. I mean, they're not slowing down, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, honestly, I think it's the commentary. Because they are just going at it right now. Oh, my God.
Whoa. Seems like extra shots at the end of the round there. Wow, that guy seems like he's still...
Oh, yeah. Nice uppercut.
Dang.
We're watching the replays on round 4 right now.
Yeah, so Ferguson got hit with a mean right hand to his temple. And then he also took that brutal kick to the back of his leg.
You know, I've always wondered, if you're like a part of a fighter's like circle or like their corner, it's almost like you're judging. It's very similar to like judging American Idol, where you're in the situation and it's like you have to think of different ways to say it and like not put on a show, but like motivate this person as the person in the octagon. And as an American Idol judge or America's Got Talent judge, you have to try and say the same thing in different ways every single time.
Oh yeah, I really think a big part of coaching isn't necessarily saying the right thing. Well, obviously it's about that, but it's about establishing a relationship that brings trust, and it brings a sort of devotion to wanting to play for someone.
For sure.
So play for a certain leader. Because when it comes down to it, sports are pretty simple. So there's really so many ways you can say something.
Final round, everyone.
So it's really about inspiring your team or your fighter or whoever you're coaching. It's having a relationship where they look up to you and you inspire them to be great. So
would you ever coach?
No,
you wouldn't.
I wouldn't.
Really?
I wouldn't want to coach.
I think I would totally coach, dude.
No,
even if you had a little Frank Jr. What? He's playing basketball?
I wouldn't want to coach Frank Jr. just because my mom coached me for so long. So I'd want to have like that. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not much of a coach. I'm not much of a coach.
See, I'm the type of guy that would complain about the coach if they're not doing anything right. So I would feel the need to just do it myself.
Yeah. See, I don't like. I have a hard time with coaches. That's a big reason why I didn't do my senior year of basketball, because I didn't want to. I was so fed up with.
You did not like your coaches.
I was so fed. Well, it wasn't even that. I was just fed up with having. I was just fed up with having an extra person in my life telling me what to do. I know that sounds really lame.
No,
of me,
not as a teenager though. No.
Yeah, not as a teenager. You know? Yeah, not as a senior in high school.
Exactly.
But yeah, I just was tired of having someone tell me to get on the baseline and run. So
it's so funny how like in high school you. Gaethje got 2 strikes
on Ferguson,
and he's stumbling right now. We're at like 3:15.
Oh, he wants.
He's running.
Oh yeah, he's running.
He's catching his
Ferguson
breath. Why is Gaethje slowing down? He should keep going. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. Probably not.
Well, I mean, it seems like it's close. It's closer than I can get. From my distance, I can't read it that well, but it looks like it's spelled Gaethje.
Yeah.
Which is Oh my! He just did a somersault, right?
That. Sometimes he does cartwheels. Yeah. Yeah, I was talking about coaching and how I would just get frustrated and I would just sort of pick up the job and do it myself. That's like me with like group work right now. I am in the midst of a group project final for my business writing class. Okay, Ferguson's getting worked.
Yeah, if this fight doesn't go knockout, then it looks like Ferguson's most likely going to lose based on his last couple rounds.
I wasn't paying attention to the first 2 rounds as much as I am now.
But
so I don't know.
I don't know. Ferguson looks worse. His face looks bloodier. Yeah. He seems to be stumbling more. The other guy seems to have a kind of a confidence, cockiness about him.
Yeah. No, I think Gaethje's got this. Gaethje.
You think? Yeah. I mean, there is a TH, so I think Gaethje. Yeah.
Gaethje. I think that's how you pronounce it.
Because of the J in there. Or is the J silent? Oh,
I don't know.
Gaethje's taking big swings. Whoa. I like in UFC how the blood kind of just collects over the course of the event or the fights,
Yeah.
you know,
And they don't even care, dude.
It's part of the aesthetic.
It'll be
dude.
the sixth fight, and it's
Pretty
like
sweet.
there's like blood splatter all over the ring, the octagon, excuse me.
Dude, okay, so
he just spit blood.
Yeah,
You see that?
yeah.
Oh, he's getting clocked right now.
See, at this point, it's almost kind of like, I almost feel kind of.
He's waving
he
it,
called
bro.
it, yeah.
He just waved it.
Yeah,
Why did he call it?
Because honestly, at that point, Ryan, here's the way I see
Gaethje
it.
just won. Yeah.
It's like Gaethje. I mean, not Gaethje because he just won, but Ferguson is at a point where he's like super beaten up and weak. So he doesn't want to quit because he's a fighter. So he's not trying to back out or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's at the point where he's obviously not going to win.
Yeah.
Like Gaethje's already gotten his points in terms of strikes and so on, where he's clearly going to win. So at this point, Ferguson is just being a fighter and being a guy who doesn't quit, and he's just going to continue to hurt himself. So the ref sees it as like, let me just save this guy some hurt here.
You're right.
Because he's already going to lose. So.
And honestly, I gotta say, I think it's the fact that he was supposed to fight on April 16th or something.
Ferguson
like
was?
that. Yeah, I mean he made weight. Like he posted that he made weight, which he didn't have to do because the fight had been canceled.
Yeah.
And then he has to stay that slim and train for 3 weeks or so. I mean, I'm not a nutritionist, but that's not good for your body, So.
Yeah, so he took a big shot there to the left side of his face, which seemed to really break open his nose, and then he took another shot, and then the ref called it.
He was kind of running, yeah.
And it looked like
I guess good stoppage.
It looked like Gaethje came over and tried to give him a good shit or good job, whatever. But it looked like Ferguson pushed him away. I'm not sure if that happened, but that's kind of what it looked like to me.
Well, good fight. I take back what I said earlier because. It's different watching.
Okay, now they're making up. It looks like now they're chill. Yeah, they always get to.
It looks like
respect.
They were throwing punches the entire time. So I take back what I said. It's just different watching it without the commentary.
Yeah, I agree.
But back to what I was saying about coaching and stuff. I'm in a group project right now, and I really feel like I'm doing the same thing, man. It's like.
By the same thing, you mean doing all the work?
Yeah, I mean, I'm the type of person that really hates a group work,
Yeah.
Because it's like I see how simple organizing people can be, Hey, you do this, you do this, you do this, and we'll all come back together and talk about it this time, And it's like I always tell myself whenever I have a group project, I'm like, all right, Ryan, like you're just gonna take a step back this time. You're gonna let other people figure it out, and you're just going to be like a contributor. You're not going to be like the person that is the group leader.
And then you see how things are becoming.
And then I'm on Zoom for 2 hours and I'm like, fuck this. And I just take over, And
I see what you mean.
I mean, I'm not an asshole about it, but I'm like, hey guys, we're not really making much progress here. Why don't we do this? Yeah. And then everyone's like, oh, that's a good idea. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Like we could have done this an hour ago. I don't know, man.
I've had group projects where I do nothing, and I've had group projects where I do everything. It depends.
And see, that's what I
read out the situation.
I was trying to do, and I've never been able to do it, man.
Usually, for me, not to brag, it's always been pretty easy to read out my situations in terms of like,
right.
I know like whether it be a situation where I'm in a group with someone who everybody in the group I already know, and I already know who they are and the kind of people they are. And I'm like, I know I can slack off. and then there's situations where you don't really know. You're
just new people, right?
If I'm being honest, if I kind of had to split the
spectrum,
of like when I've done all the work and when I've done nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Elementary, middle school, and high school, I did nothing.
Yeah.
And let somebody else do everything. And then college has kind of had the trend of me doing most of the work or doing my majority share.
Right.
One or the other.
Right.
And that depends on either I'm in... Honestly, you know what that depends on? whether I'm at RCC or at a Cal State. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like, so I've had the experience where I'm doing it all or not, and both. I kind of like both. I kind of feel like I'm balling in both senses.
Okay.
Because I'm either just like kicking back and goofing off, or I'm like, I'm better than all you.
Yeah.
Like, you're welcome. I don't even need to say anything because I know you know, but
yeah.
you're welcome.
Well, it's like you get into these groups, right? And it's like you'll like feel it out, and like immediately you'll know, like, is someone stepping up? Like, is someone gonna be the leader?
Yeah, big time.
And it's like, if I'm not feeling that within like an hour,
mm-hmm.
I'm going for it, man, because I can't just waste that time.
Yeah.
You know, I can't just twiddle my thumbs while people go back and forth. You know, I sound like an asshole right now, but it's just the way it is, man.
Ryan.
And by the way,
sound like a hard worker.
Oh, thanks, man. And by the way, you know, you said for you it was like elementary, middle school, high school, then college, like, is when you started being like the leader.
Yeah.
Exactly the same way.
Oh,
as me, and probably worse in high school because you actually got good grades in high school.
Yeah, that's what.
Whereas I did not.
Yeah, but Ryan, I can't remember. Were you in like the honors and the AP classes?
I was in honors like 9th and 10th grade, and then I think I took honors Spanish 3.
Okay.
And that was the last honors class I took. I think it was my junior year.
Yeah, because I had the advantage often of being in like honors or AP classes where I would get in these groups with people.
Oh, right.
That I knew them, and I was like, I know, like, you care so much, and like, like the word we use in high school is try hard.
Try hard, yeah.
It's like, I know you're such a try hard that I can play flappy golf the whole time with my group, with two of my homie group members here, while you're, you know, just doing all the work basically.
Dude, no, I was in honors classes, and then I kind of took myself out because I did not have the ambition.
Yeah.
I was in was it Mr. Ritzau? The math teacher. The one that was really cool. He taught geometry. Finwall.
Yeah, dude.
I was in his class, I think my junior year. So I barely hit Algebra 2. And you hit Calculus. You were
okay, give me.
Yes.
Your senior year you had pre-cal, right?
No.
I thought your senior year you had
pre-cal.
pre-cal.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, because my junior year I had pre-cal. Because you were a year behind on math,
right?
And I was on the regular
track.
Correct. So we were in the same math class throughout high school.
And I say this just to prove that I was more of a slacker, for sure.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, no. Ryan was the slacker of our group for sure. Ryan was the guy who something would be going on, and we'd be waking up Ryan.
What are you about to say?
Oh, we'd be waking him up. I remember I failed Orvitz honors pre-cal in my first semester of junior year,
yes.
and then I did Finwall second semester, and I got like over an A. It was just like, God, I told you, Mom. I told you, don't make me take this class. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Like, I have this easy A sitting here.
Well, it's like in high school, you don't really learn a lot unless you're a Sam O'Neill.
Yeah, that's
you
true.
just learn how to pass your classes.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
you don't really learn it. You just learn how to get a passing grade.
It's like I'm coming out of Algebra 2.
Whether that be a C, B, or an A.
And if you asked me how to take the derivative of anything, I would have told you I have no idea, you know? And I passed Algebra 2.
I've taken so many math classes I couldn't do any math
Algebra
right
2?
now.
No, that's
pre-cal. It's like you delete it from your brain. Like, you figure out a way to finesse it. You finesse it, and then you dump it.
Well, if you don't practice
unless what you're studying is something you want to do,
and that's practice,
and you're interested in, you know. But if it's like high school, like what we're talking about, just like getting, like, passing these classes that we don't give a fuck about.
Yeah.
That it's all about figuring out the way to do it. Because if I can think of every class, like if I really took the time to think of every class I ever passed, I could tell you the way, like the strategies I came up with for passing.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
Yep.
There's always the strategies for the different.
Dude,
always,
I remember chemistry. It was like
it
was me and Michael. I don't want to give up my strats.
Yeah,
okay?
I know. I don't want to.
But let's just say
I don't want people to judge me.
Let's just say I did not do my homework until 10 minutes before class. That's all I'm gonna put in there.
Oh my God, Ryan!
And you probably
I did
beat
literally the exact same thing.
We can't pound it right now, but
I did literally the exact
Yeah.
Ryan, the exact same thing.
I don't know how.
I would do the homework
Uh-huh.
as he was stamping. As he was walking around and stamping homework, I would do it.
And bro, he did not give a fuck.
Oh,
I
yeah.
remember thinking I was like so sly, and I was like, "Oh, I'm doing the homework right now." He doesn't even know. He had to have known, bro. He's not that dumb. Like
He's not a fucking idiot.
yeah, he's really actually he's incredibly smart.
He's
just really smart. Guy.
really smart
And really cool, by the way. I'm really sorry I
Shouts
cheated
out,
in your
yeah, I'm
class.
sorry, Mr. Schiller. I'm sorry I
Yeah,
cheated through your class, but it
you-
was chemistry, and like I don't do chemistry, so it's like kind of like I had no option.
Shout out to Poly High School.
Yeah, shout out to Poly High School for making it easy and like
He
giving
made
the
that class
education away.
really cool.
Yeah.
The thing was, I didn't want to do the homework, and that was it.
No.
I actually learned more in that class than I did probably in the classes that I did homework, because he was a cool teacher and like he made it interesting, and we had labs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
you know?
we had labs. Well, I'm glad you remembered something because I don't remember anything.
Stoichiometry.
So yeah, because
Dude, I used to. Oh God, me and Michael. we used
chem
to
boots.
chem boots. We used to just fucking be doing a lab or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we had Shelby Frisbee in. Oh God, I'm terrible at name drop, dude. I'm sorry.
It's all good.
For all our listeners, it was like we were talking about the podcast before we started it, like, but way before, like before the fruition of the podcast, like before the first episode.
Yeah.
And Frank's like, yeah, but it is on the internet, so we probably shouldn't name drop, like, And I was like, oh yeah,
I was just saying, like,
for
let's
sure.
just- yeah.
And then first episode comes, and I'm literally
he's just-
shouting out
he's
every
giving-
single
just doing that,
person
yeah, doing
first
everything.
last name. Whatever, dude.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
If
matter.
we really get that big, then we can, edit out people's names. I don't know.
No, it's fine, right? It's
By the way, dude, I was thinking about it.
nobody watches the early videos.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking about it the other day, and I was telling Amanda, I was like, yeah, Frank's like gonna go, to LA, and he's gonna like, pursue being an actor. She's like, what does that mean about the podcast? And I was like, oh, I don't know,
Well, bro,
And-
you gifted me with this
I know.
equipment that allows us to take the podcast mobile.
Well, I'm just saying,
We've already done a trial run.
and this is what I was saying. I was
Yeah.
like, we'll probably have to go, mobile or online. And I was like, if anything, Frank gets famous, the podcast blows up, and then I get famous.
Oh yeah.
So it's a win-win.
Oh, 100%.
Catch, how to throw that out there.
Yeah, no, I mean, if I'm being honest with you, I feel like, Ryan, that might be the only way this podcast ever gains ground.
You're right. Well, it's not gaining ground through me, man.
Yeah, I mean, if I am able to luck into a role that happens to be, but here's the
Yeah,
the thing: this pandemic needs to end
For sure.
because
we need new things to talk about.
movies aren't gonna happen. Because hey, let me tell you, entertainment don't mean shit when the virus and the pandemic hits.
Yeah.
I mean, like, for real, like, the only kind of people in entertainment that are chilling right now in terms of financials are the people who were already successful before it hit. So
Yeah.
it's like it's just one of those things where I need the world to come back into its normal rhythm for me to even step into this world.
Yeah. It's so weird.
But I will say, though, I don't know if this is dumb ignorance, which is probably what it is, but when I think about...
we have a lot of that on this show.
Yeah, when I think about
It's pretty standard.
the state of the world and how in Hollywood all these productions have been put on hold. They've all been... We gotta pause.
This one's for the fans, baby.
So I'm already giving myself a optimistic outlook in saying, hey, done with college in 2020, 2021 hits, the pandemic starts to end, hopefully
Rattling,
2021 we get back to normal, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
That's when I'm diving into the acting scene. And I'm thinking in my head, maybe they're. This is so stupid, but hear me out, Ryan. Okay, so all the delayed productions are all going to be coming back into swing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you're going to have all these scripts that have been written in the quarantine of writers writing. You know what I mean? So you're going to have all these fresh ideas, but you're going to still have all these ideas that were being worked on when everything went pause. So when things come back into motion,
You're saying the demand is going to be real high.
I'm saying the big people will be busy doing their things that were paused.
High demand. Yeah.
While you have all these new ideas with.
I get you.
I'm just
You're right.
staying optimistic.
No, you're totally right, dude.
Yeah, so that's kind of a cool idea that I had.
And we kind of talked about this. We've touched on it previously about how are all these things that are getting postponed gonna happen?
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
Oh, everyone's postponing till October. Like
Yeah.
what? We
So
can't
everything's
fit
coming
everything
in
in
October.
man.
Yeah.
Like,
Lots gonna
you
happen
can't
in
just
October.
squeeze like 3 months worth of events and activities into October.
That's the other thing that's making me think that it will have a
Well, you're
an
right.
effect. Yeah,
No, you're right. You are right. And if anything, I mean, you can be like a what is it called? Like a stand-in or something like that. I mean.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'll be doing. My hopefully my first jobs will be extras. Being
Extras.
An extra,
There you go. That's
stuff
what
like
I was
that.
looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, dude. Definitely. It'll probably be easier to get started, to be honest. I mean, I do. I think so.
Yeah. I don't know.
The demand will be high
I'm excited
because people are gonna want to put films on the table.
Yeah, there's
the
going to be a
people that
lot
are
of
putting
new
pressure
ideas
on.
out there.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, I do have something I want to talk about.
Are we both drinking tangerine right now?
I just finished my tangerine.
Oh, you just killed your tangerine. What you got over there? Lemon?
I got a lemon for the third.
All right. I want to know, what's everyone's favorite flavors? Even if we get one comment, and I know who's going to comment.
Yeah, and we love you for it.
Yes, we do,
We
man.
do.
You're the best. Which, by the way, Jacob, I'm on my third, and Frank's on his second right now.
I'm on my third.
Well, you haven't opened it. So I'm crushing him this time. He let me know last time that I was not.
That you were
I was
lacking.
not drinking at a good pace.
Yeah, last episode I surprised myself. I was like, okay, dang, keeping pace.
Oh man, my favorite changes every time. It's like I'll have a couple and I'll drink a lemon and I'm like, bro, this lemon is the best thing I've ever tasted.
Dude, that tangerine might be my favorite. I'm not gonna lie.
And then I have drinking both the lemon and the mango, which are really good. And now I'm drinking this tangerine and I'm like, bro, this might be my favorite.
Yeah. Okay, now that we're on flavors, I noticed a different kind of White Claw in the grocery store today when I was out grocery shopping.
What'd you get? What'd you see?
I saw this White Claw. It was bro, get this. The flavor was clementine.
You're lying.
But there's an exception. A 6-pack of clementine, but it's clementine for a special reason because it's 0 sugar White Claw.
Wow.
And not only is it 0 sugar,
0 cal.
I'm pointing at the alcohol percentage, by the way, people.
4%?
It's 3.7% alcohol.
Wow.
Yeah. So you lose
White Claw.
you lose a whole point. Oh,
0.
You lose a 1.3 percentage when you take away those 2 grams of sugar. Apparently.
I wonder how that works, man.
And you know what, Ryan? I was tempted to buy it. I'm not gonna lie. I was about to buy it.
You should have.
And you know what made me not buy it? The 3.7% alcohol.
You're right, bro. We can't be drinking that bitch shit.
It's just like, yeah.
We'll try it one time. I'll definitely buy it for the podcast and we can review it.
You know what I noticed? I haven't noticed a White Claw sponsoring someone yet.
You're right.
And I only mention that.
I haven't either.
I only mention that because Barstool Sports has a Bud Light Seltzer sponsorship.
They have a podcast like that, right? Or no?
Well, I mean, they just have Bud Light Seltzer products all around their sets and blah, blah, blah. But it made me think, like, Bud Light Seltzer is a very recent seltzer.
Yeah.
And they get in on a big, internet blogging site that is, likes to drink. it's a smart move. And then I think of White Claw and how long White Claw's been around. And then I thought to myself, I was like, is White Claw so fucking money that they don't even need to like sponsor anybody?
I think that's what it is.
I
man.
think that's what I like. Do they have it so good? Because I really think that's what it is. And I think it's what it is because I really think that everybody universally kind of agrees that White Claw's the best.
Well, I'll tell you what. My dad and my brother think that Truly is better.
Oh my God!
For one reason,
they're like Olivia, Tristan's girlfriend, Olivia. Yeah, crazy. It's fucking crazy.
For one reason, more flavors. Okay, and this was my counter argument. I said, look,
more flavors.
They do have more flavors.
There's 8. Okay, Ryan, you get to a certain point where.
You don't need that much, right?
Why do you need that many flavors, bro?
You're right.
How many fruits do you actually like to eat?
They start throwing in. Throwing in passion fruit. It's like, does anyone
you ever
really
eaten a
know
passion fruit?
what passion fruit tastes
I got
like?
a passion fruit tree in my backyard. It's just
listen. Passion fruit tastes almost like a lemon. It is so sour.
Yeah.
That you have to add sugar to it to make it taste good.
Let's go through the flavors of White Claw and just basically say like how useful they are. So we got lemon right here. So right now we're kind of off to a rough start.
You can't rank the lemon though.
I gotta start it with a bad example. Don't you think all the other flavors are like edible foods, like fruits you would commonly think of yourself eating?
Yes, but I will say this:
except for lemon,
lemonade, the superior juice in my opinion. It's a juice, right?
Lemonade is definitely a juice. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. If you're asking me, hey, orange juice or lemon juice, lemonade.
You're going lemonade?
I'm going lemonade all day, bro. Fuck, dude, that's tough. Unless it's with pancakes and bacon or something like that.
I love orange juice. I love orange juice.
I'm going lemonade all day.
Orange juice has always to me felt healthier. And I'll tell you why. The idea of orange juice to me is more legit cuz I feel like you can just take oranges and just squish them into a jar, just squish, and then just drink it. And if you're a guy who's okay with pulp like I am,
I love pulp, dude.
It's a regular glass of orange juice.
Yeah.
But to me, you take 4 lemons and you just squish. It's not lemonade.
Okay, I agree.
So that's why like when I'm just thinking like what's the greatest juice, I kind of want to give it to orange juice because I feel like just naturally. Anytime, if you have an orange tree, you have orange juice.
You just grab one off the tree, squish it into a glass.
Your mouth,
that would taste good.
And that's orange juice.
You're right. This is what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of Simply. You know the juice brand, right?
Simply Lemonade. Oh my God.
That's what I'm thinking of right now.
Is that what we had in Santa Barbara for the come down? Yeah.
All right, Simply Lemonade for sure over Simply Orange Juice.
Yeah,
Simply Orange Juice. It just doesn't taste like orange juice to me.
What?
It doesn't.
You know what? Today on the grocery run, we got my sister picked out Simply Orange Juice for Mother's Day breakfast tomorrow.
Yeah.
I
mean, I'll take it out.
I can't
don't get me
recall
wrong.
specifically having Simply Orange. You know, I can obviously recall having Simply Lemonade, but I can't recall having Simply Orange. So I'm excited to see if I agree with you on.
Dude, there is just
there's something about it
better than having a gallon of Simply Lemonade
on the Santa Barbara beach.
Dude, it is next level. You guys got to try it.
Yeah.
Okay, you just did lemon, and I guess we'll keep going down.
Okay, so I really think lemon's the only flavor where it's like I can't think of myself eating it in a certain example, like straight up eating it, because we got mango. I can think of a time where I've eaten mango straight up, and I've enjoyed it. I can think of multiple times. You got watermelon.
Lime's pretty tough as well.
Lime is tough too.
But you know
what the thing about lime and lemon is? Think about how essential they are to drinks.
Okay, fun fact.
What?
As a kid, I thought limes were lemons that weren't grown up. How funny is that, bro?
That's kind of funny.
Because we have a lemon tree here.
I used to think babies came out of the butthole, so there's that.
Pretty similar. And if I was going to rank one, yours is more embarrassing.
Yeah. We all have our embarrassing thoughts that we thought things were real.
Oh, man.
But they aren't real.
Honestly, I'm not going to go into it. Okay.
No, I kept it brief there. That was a punchline, and we can move past
Let's quick fire these, okay?
Tangerine.
Listen.
I've eaten so many fucking tangerines. I've eaten hundreds.
We have a
even
tangerine tree here.
Yeah.
I kid you not. I've had 10 in a row. 10 in a row, and I've literally had a stomach ache, and I was like, I'm still going.
Oh,
because
really?
they're that good.
I was gonna say I can take out like 5 and just feel regular.
Well, I can do 12, have a stomach ache,
you know
and
what else?
love the taste still.
Whole bite.
Yeah.
Whole thing in one. Just
one down, dude.
Like chicken nuggets.
You don't fuck around when you're eating tangerine.
Nope.
Don't give me those little bits. Just go.
Okay, next we have watermelon. Eaten that many a time.
Mango, do I even have to talk about it?
We've all seen mango a ton of time.
Mango is one of the most fruity of the fruits.
So we got watermelon,
in terms of sugar.
tangerine, lemonade. What's the other?
Black cherry, ruby grapefruit, lime. Okay, lime stuff. We already talked about it.
What's
grapefruit?
the second pack? Because there's 9 flavors in
mango.
total. Oh, I forgot they put mango in the second variety pack. I forgot about that. I did forget.
Which, by the way, thank you so much.
Which I do like that because I do like mango getting the shout out of being part of a variety pack.
We don't have to talk about mango. Black cherry.
Eat that. Grapefruit.
Great for your fiber. Yeah. It'll clean you out. Ruby grapefruit. Listen, not many people have eaten grapefruit in their life. I tell you what, my dad used to cut open grapefruits. He used to slice them in half.
I've had grapefruit.
Get a spoon and just go for it. And you know what?
Yeah, I've done that.
I thought he was so cool doing that because I hated the taste that it just slowly intrigued me.
Yeah.
And I just kept doing it. And then all of a sudden it was like, I like grapefruit, you know?
Yep.
And so I'll take a spoon in a grapefruit any day.
So, original flavors: grapefruit, black cherry, lime. What's the
raspberry?
Raspberry.
Yeah, raspberry.
Another fruit that I can just think of many times. I've enjoyed with whipped cream. I've enjoyed on its own. I've enjoyed fruit spreads.
The only thing that I don't like about raspberries is the hair on them. Dude, you get this like it's almost like peach fuzz on every raspberry.
I kind of like it.
It's like I have to rinse them off with water to like. Fold the hairs down a little bit.
Put them down.
Or else I feel like I'm
put your hair down.
Yeah, dude. Like I'm throwing a hairball on my mouth. It tastes good, but yeah.
I think raspberries are very good. You know what I love is that blue raspberry is a flavor,
dude.
But it's not a real fruit. Like there's no such thing as a blue raspberry,
man.
What is blue raspberry?
It's almost a combination of blueberry and raspberry, but it tastes more like blueberry. You know.
I think it. You know
what do you think of when you hear blue raspberry? I know exactly what you're gonna say. Blue raspberry, Frank.
A slushy.
Really? That's not what I'm
saying. It's got a blueberry and a raspberry. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say?
If you tell me blue raspberry, I'm saying Jolly Rancher.
Oh, really? Every time?
Every time. Okay. In fact, when you said it right there, I was like, "Oh, blue raspberry."
See, I'm kind of thinking icy slushy.
That's true. Blue raspberry is a popular.
Yeah, it's great, and it pairs so well with the red cherry. It's usually cherry.
You know,
the blue raspberry and cherry swirl is. Oh my god!
I haven't had one of those in years, man.
They always hit, dude.
Dude, I love when I see like one of those icy vans like on the freeway, and I'm like, I just kind of like nod. I'm like,
there's just something
respect.
About the turning.
Yes.
And then. So.
They don't even need to do that, right? Do they really need to turn it? Come on.
Yeah.
Okay, it's for show.
You kidding me, Ryan?
But they don't need to show it.
I think they need to turn it. I think they need it.
Well, they're doing it. They're doing it. So you walk past and you're like,
you want to have it?
99 cents. You think do I want a slushie right now?
It's not 99 cents. I fucking wish.
Okay.
Maybe
I haven't gotten a slushie in a while.
It used to be, but not anymore. I mean, maybe if you're getting a gas station slushie and you're. I can't remember. I think you could do the Polar Pops. You can get an 89 cents Polar Pop, fill it up with icy.
Probably.
And you just finesse it. But at the movie theater, my God, $5 for an icy.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
My God. I mean, that's really the time I like to enjoy an icy is when it's like a special movie that I feel like deserves icy and popcorn.
Dude.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. How much sugar is in those ices, man?
Oh, a ton, man. A ton.
Okay, back to what I was saying.
What?
My dad and my brother think that Trulies are better, okay? And they said
because of the more flavors.
Because the variety of flavors. And the
flavor sucks.
Listen. Okay, first of all, they have a pineapple, and their pineapple is actually pretty good, okay? I will give them that. Here's the thing, okay?
Okay.
White Claw Superior, okay, and they can't have as many flavors. They can't. You know why? Because the demand for the flavors that they already have is so high, they don't have the resources to make more flavors, people. It's so obvious to me. And that's what I was telling my brother. I was like, Rory, Truly has so much time on their hands that they're making whatever flavor comes to mind. Okay? White Claw is perfecting their own flavors. In fact, mass producing it because the demand for these things is so high. And I mean, that's the argument that I gave him. And he kind of nodded his head, but kept drinking his pineapple.
There was a recent Snapchat story of this girl I'm friends with on Snapchat who posted, gotta have a White Claw to get through a workout.
That makes no sense.
That's exactly what I thought.
Do not drink White Claws when you work out.
Don't drink White Claws when you work out.
First of all, that's pretty bad.
I thought it was kind of funny, though.
I mean, it is funny.
Because I was like, it's just one of those things on social media. Social media is something where you're presented something. How do you take it? Do you take it as its face value? Did you drink a did you use a White Claw as your hydration as you did sit-ups and curls and push-ups and
we've actually found that White Claws do not hydrate you, even though they're hard seltzer.
They do not hydrate you. I can attest to that.
Throwback to episode 2, right?
And also throwback to New Year's coming into 2020. New Year's counting into 2020.
But that was episode.
Remember
2.
Ryan? No, that wasn't episode 2. When we celebrated New Year's together and we drank Monopoly.
You had 7.
We drank Monopoly. We played Monopoly and we drank White Claws.
You had 7.
I think I had 8 that night.
But that was before we started the podcast. What time are we at?
56.
56?
You know, Ryan, it sucks because it's like I always say like, let's keep it short, but then I just want to keep talking.
Listen, people. Those of you that listen to every podcast, front to back. I'm telling you, we could go for 3 hours, making your job so much more difficult. We could do this, I think, for hours every day.
We really could do this.
I kid you not.
Ryan and I are the kind of friends. We're the kind of friends who we've spent entire days together, from sun up to sundown, and I'm talking days that are like, not only are the days sun up to sundown, but those days are filled with events. You know, like we're doing shit throughout. So it's like this could this just could happen forever. You know, we could literally like hit record and just do like an eternity podcast. You know what I mean?
I'm telling you,
you know, it really
could.
Like, you know,
like if we were just, what if like we were in the future?
Imagine dying solid 5 wish. If we're able to all die at the same time, let's all just do a podcast till we all die. You know? We just all record till we die.
Yeah,
we just chat till we die.
There goes Frank.
Yeah, we just like each one goes at a time. Yeah, we give him a shout out. You know,
Scott, are you there?
Yeah, we live stream it too.
No, okay. Imagine we're in like a Simpsons episode or something like that, and we're one of those heads in like a glass tube that has like liquid.
Yeah,
you've seen those episodes, right?
Oh yeah,
is that The Simpsons? Family Guy?
Both.
It's a common thing, right? Yeah, it's like our head is like in cryo sleep.
So whatever. Our brain is still like functioning.
But we're still living.
We're still living because our brain is still functioning,
right.
So we can still like talk and think.
It makes no sense.
Yeah. It makes no sense because the brain needs the body.
Right.
To
hence
work.
The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Imagine we're like that, and we have like no purpose because we can't move. I would totally do this 24/7.
Oh yeah.
And I would freaking...
Yeah, I would do it, yeah, too.
I would tell whoever was producing it to IV White Claw into my cryo glass capsule.
Into your head. Pump the alcohol 24/7 straight into my brain.
And I'm telling you right now, I think we could do it. I think we could do it for 24/7.
I think we could, too. Because... That's
without it being awkward. Like that's the point where you're like, okay, you can't do it, you know?
Yeah. But I really think that's what I love about chatting and talking is I think when you're talking with someone who you just get along with in every way, I think conversation is endless. You know, because it doesn't matter what you bring up, it's gonna take you somewhere else. It's gonna lead you in an area.
Yeah.
Like, because I have topics in my head that I want to talk about right now that I'm not even gonna bring up because they're gonna take up 30 minutes of the next episode.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I got one.
What do you got?
Listen, I don't think that we're experts in podcasts at all, right? Like, we're literally in a garage right now.
No, I don't think we're expert in podcasts. I think we're expert in talking with each other.
Okay, true.
Yeah.
People have reached out to us.
We have had fans. We've had fans.
Well, we've had people ask us, hey, like, how did you get yours going? You know? And like...
Oh, yeah. True.
You know, we didn't reach out to anyone. Like, we kind of just did it, you know?
We just did it. That's true.
And it's like, the advice that I'm, like, trying to give is, like...
We don't have any advice to give.
Like, just do it, you know?
Do it.
I mean, I don't want to, you know, throw up Nike or whatever, but just do it. Seriously.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah.
Get yourself some
100%,
mics.
100%.
And honestly, it's super easy.
It is.
Like, this is probably one of the easiest things. Okay, well, I shouldn't say that. Producing it is pretty hard.
Yeah.
Getting the equipment.
Ryan is, the reason why I've taken the success, the potential success of the show on my shoulders since Ryan has done all the production.
Frank is the face of White Claw Wednesdays, okay? I'm just the back end guy.
Yeah,
and the supporting role.
Ryan,
Frank will go on off a tangent.
Makes it go though,
and then I'll say, "Oh yeah," and then he'll keep going, and then I'll say, "Oh, that's awesome," and then he'll keep going.
I will say, speaking about tangents, I was pretty
What?
pissed that I didn't mention. When we were talking about the hero shots, I think it was in episode 16, the hero entrances.
Yes.
Jacob asked us to talk about our favorite
hero
for
shots.
Sure. I forgot to mention because I was really thinking, my brain was, honestly, it's funny because the thing with Iron...
Did you wing that, or did you think about it before?
Oh, I pretty much wung that. I
mean, I, like, immediately when you said it, I thought of it, and then I was like, okay, that's
well,
it.
half
Boom.
of the answer I won.
Those
Like,
ones.
me mentioning the whole Avengers Assemble, that was in my head. Like, that
Right,
right
right.
there is guaranteed. But when I mentioned the whole Wolverine, him injecting the serum
That was off your
to
head.
go berserker, that was off my head.
Nice.
But I totally forgot to mention Spider-Man 2 when he lowers Mary Jane down from the web. Like, after he defeats Doc Ock, he tells Mary Jane, I'm always going to be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's why, like, this can't work because I can't deal with the fact that, you know, you'll be in danger.
Yeah.
And then he lowers her down by the web.
Yeah.
And then the boyfriend, like, the pilot guy, he runs up and he hugs Mary Jane. And she embraces him.
She's
and she looks over
like, looking up.
She looks over her shoulder. and he fucking stands up on the crane. And he's got no mask. And he puts his mask on.
So
and he jumps off.
So good, dude.
Oh, my... That right, see, and I was bummed I forgot to mention it because that right there is my favorite hero shot moment of all time.
But that's not, I don't know if that would qualify, though.
It does, though, Ryan. It does.
Okay.
It does. No, and let me tell you why it does. No, please, let me. And
I will let you explain.
Let's just end on this here because.
Maybe he's accepted his fate. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's accepted his fate as a hero.
Yeah.
He has come to the realization of, I have been given this power. This is who I am. And the way I feel is I care about you so much that I was given this power. So that, unfortunately, is going to prevent me from being with you because I care about you so much. I need you to keep you safe. So in reality, it's him fully accepting his role as a hero. He's like, I've been given this. This is my duty. Yeah. I can handle it. So, and it's kind of him, like, standing up there on the crane, like, looking
saying,
at
like,
her, watching him. That's him, like,
this is who I am now.
This is who I am, like, you, like, you're safe there, like, let me be. And then he just goes away because, like, I can.
She comes back.
She comes back, but it's about.
I get what you're saying.
It's about stating the fact that this is who I am fully. That allows her to come back in the end.
Yeah.
You know. So that's why it's I just had to throw that into episode 18 because that is really my favorite hero shot of all time.
Yeah, and I gotta shout out Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. If you guys haven't seen that movie, please God go watch it right now.
Yeah,
okay,
really.
It's not my favorite Spider-Man, but it's a unique. It's a unique movie in itself.
We saw it together for the first time.
Yep.
Yeah, with Sam. With Sam. Yeah.
And I've seen it. I think I've seen it twice since. I showed with Amanda.
I've seen
it with Amanda.
I've seen it at least once since. So I think twice too. Yeah,
it is so good.
It is.
And
I like it because I love movies that are really good, and at the same time when I'm watching it, I feel like there's nothing I can compare this to.
Right.
Like instantly.
Well, the comic book animation in that film is so amazing.
And that is a main reason why I can't compare it to anything else, because
In
sure,
fact,
it has comic book story beats.
Yeah.
But what you're watching visually is just, it really feels like kind of the first time I've ever seen a comic moving on screen.
Right. It is comic book animation.
Yeah, it's very cool.
It is the start of something incredible.
Oh yeah.
That's
for sure.
It is the start of something incredible, because honestly, I think it's better than, I mean, the animation in the movie was better than just like looking at a comic book. One, because it's moving and it has more emotion.
And it still has that comic book feel.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Yep, that's it.
And it's really cool, and I think it's a good way for showing people who are comic book fans that haven't read comics or haven't owned any comics, to kind of show them why it became such a global phenomenon in the first place.
Yeah.
Because you have these
just imagine
amazing images, and it's like, whoa, they're just like so colorful and cool.
You gotta, it kind of throws you back too, because you gotta think of like, this is the time before, movies had CGI or movies had animation in itself. I mean, animation back then was flip books.
Yeah, because when the golden age of comics was hitting like 60s and 70s, in a way,
movies were not.
Yeah, and in terms of special effects, like, sure, 2001: A Space Odyssey, 1969.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Ryan! I saw that in the theater for the first time in San Francisco.
It's a great movie.
The Castro.
Yep.
It is like, when I'm watching it in the theater, I felt like I was watching like a movie from 2020.
Did you see at the Castro?
I saw a lot of movies.
Jeez.
I saw a lot of movies. I ain't messing around.
All right, let's
let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
But point
fantastic movie.
I feel like the comic age happening in the 60s and 70s was important, because you were able to have these images on the page that weren't possible on the screen.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And
I was mentioning 2001: A Space Odyssey because I'm not discounting that, because it does have amazing effects that do hold up.
Yeah.
But I still do think that there were things that were done on the comic book pages that weren't going to be done in the 60s and 70s on the screen.
100%. When I first saw Space Odyssey, 2001: Space Odyssey, I didn't think that it was done in
69.
1969. Yeah. I didn't think that. I thought it was like maybe like a 90s movie. Honestly, I did.
90s, early
I really
2000s.
did.
Yeah, I feel that.
Anyways, what I was saying was, you got to think that the time of these, like, you're looking at Into the Spider-Verse, and you're viewing all these animations, and you're kind of viewing them, and you're like, oh wow, like, comic books are great,
Mm-hmm.
And then you gotta think, like, snap yourself out of it, like, no. This was the imagination of everyone who hadn't seen anything like this,
Mm-hmm.
or anything in high definition, of anything of this caliber, And it's like, that really is the beauty of Into the Spider-Verse, because I think it's going to bring a lot of the old-timers back to films. I mean, if you make a film
Mm-hmm.
like Into the Spider-Verse, and you sort of market it towards, like, those people who were comic book collectors,
Mm-hmm.
like, it's going to sell really well, because it allowed people to, open up their imagination, and, that obviously, has resonates with them, because it's their childhood and stuff like that. And I'm excited, man. And it's the first of its kind,
Mm-hmm.
really.
Yeah,
like, I can't think, like, there have been movies where they kind of do, like, those comic book, like, scenes and stuff, but I can't think of anything of that caliber. It's next level. And I would recommend it to literally everyone. I would recommend it to my grandpa. I would.
I read about the amount of time it took to animate it, and it was incredibly long.
Yeah.
It was years of animation, years of drawing. So I highly recommended film. And I think we should end on that note.
Let's call it, dude.
Episode 18 coming to a close.
Episode 18. Thank you, everyone, for listening.
Thank you. I love you.
Next week, obviously, come back and listen to us.
Come back and listen. We'll be discussing Michael Jordan and why he is the GOAT.
There we go. Bye, everyone.